Hello, welcome back to another edition of Outlandish Claims. This again is our all Outlandish Claims week. So last time we did Rookie of the Year. Right now we're going to predict our Coach of the Year. So who started last time? I think it was
I started first
Gio
last
started.
time.
So you're going to not start this time.
And starting with the NL, I think that this is indicative of who I have winning the World Series, as we've talked about. Brian Snitker of the Atlanta Braves. I believe that he is the recipient of the award this past year. Do not quote me on that.
No,
But
that was Don Mattingly.
that was Don Mattingly.
He won
Okay.
2 years ago.
Thank you. 2 years. 2 years ago. Yes, that's what it was. I think that when it comes down to the NL East, which we have talked about as being arguably the toughest division that anybody's going to play in this year, and just the path that they have to navigate through in order to get through not just their division, but ultimately the postseason, even though the postseason doesn't necessarily factor into the awards. I think that Brian Snitker is a guy that definitely is underappreciated, probably in
3
some
years ago.
underrated.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Like 3 years ago, 2018.
2018. Wow. Yeah. So I mean, he's got one under his belt, but the team has gotten better and better since then. And it's clear that he hasn't even been a guy that's been thrown into that conversation, despite where he might have ranked. So I've got Brian Snitker out of the NL as the manager of the year for that league. And then for the AL, Gio's going to like this. Tony La Russa. Tony La Russa is going to be making his return as a top manager in the major leagues this year by guiding the Chicago White Sox back to the playoffs, even though they made it last year with just being competitive in doing so with what is along the lines of a full season, not just 60 games. I think that La Russa is going to tap into the best that those players have to offer in terms of what's in their heart. He's clearly a Hall of Fame caliber manager. When you got the reigning AL MVP and Jose Abreu, who, again, we have not even talked about. That's how crazy loaded the White Sox are, right? You still got Tim Anderson. You still got Grandal. You've got a solid pitching staff, again, out there. And I think that when it comes to the AL Central, it's wide open, right? It's wide open. You would probably rank them and the Twins at the top. The Indians have obviously taken a step back with losing Lindor and then previously losing Bauer to the Reds and now the Dodgers. I think Tony La Russa, I like what he's going to do with this team, man. And so with that, I've got an established veteran, an established Hall of Fame caliber coach winning his Manager of the Year title in the AL this time. And then I've got that bad man when it comes to leading the Braves to their first title in over 30 years, or close to 30 years, rather, in Brian Snitker. Boom.
All right, we're going to give Demetrius some more time here. I'm going to make mine real quick because I know Gio's got some long-windedness about him. He gonna have some things to say. I can tell just from that sigh he gave to Mike. He gonna have some things to say. So I'll make mine real quick. AL Manager of the Year, Bob Melvin. The A's are going to go to the World Series, and Bob Melvin is going to be one of the big reasons why. This is a small market team. They're going to be against Joe Madden. They're going to be competing against but the other like the Houston Astros, and Dusty Baker's fantastic, but the Houston Astros have lost a lot. And then you have his like throwaway teams. You have the Mariners and the Rangers, who have not mattered since Game 6. So there's no other team that's going to come out of the West, and I'm sure there's going to be an acquisition or something at the deadline that's going to make them even better. Bob Melvin is going to be one of the big reasons behind that team. Here's where I really give Demetrius a stroke. NL manager is going to be Luis Rojas.
Why can't they fire him? Why can't they fire him, make Hensley the manager, and I can throw a party? That's my third cousin, for God's sake.
Oh wow, that would be
Let the
fun.
man shine.
So they're obviously going to be a strong contender right out of the gate. They are going to take out the Phillies. They're going to take out the Marlins, who still has great pitching, and they still have a solid young core. And they're going to have something to say about the Braves and the Nationals as well. They're good. They're going to be great, and deserved or otherwise, Rojas is going to be getting that credit the same way that Art Howe got a lot of the credit, even though he didn't deserve it. The manager's the first person everybody gets credit to. Maybe it'll be all on the owner getting you spending some money. Maybe it'll be on the GM or trades. But he's going to get a lot of that trickle down effect, and he's going to end up manager of the year.
I was more baffled that Mike chose somebody that hasn't managed in over a decade to be the manager of the year right in his first season. Mainly because like the game has changed so much since he last was a manager. But Chicago's got a great team, so you know what? I could see it. But my picks, funny enough, Demetrius mentioned Montoya as the his AL pick. That's actually going to be my pick as well, because not only for the fact that this team's loaded right now, but how he handled Kevin Biggio, Vlad Jr., who was a prime comeback candidate, Bo Bichette, Teoscar Hernandez, young guys that came into their own last year and looked pretty competitive. And now he's got the core around him of Springer and Nate Pearson taking that next step as a good starter. You got Kirby Yates in the bullpen as a nice buy low candidate for reliever of the year. I think it all comes together, and I mentioned that last week in our predictions, or I mentioned, or I think they're going to be making a decent playoff run. So that's my AL pick. My NL pick is a little bit interesting. I'm going to go David Ross from the Cubs. So last year they won the NL Central, not by much, like 3 games or so, and they lost Lester to the Nationals. I don't think they have Jose Quintana. And of course, you got the ongoing Chris Bryant scenario happening as we're going into this season. I think he's a decent manager. He's one of the new era types of guys, like an Aaron Boone type, who is more hell-bent on player development and analytics. And I think because Chris Bryant is so pissed off at how this offseason has gone for him, being thrown around in trade talks and the contract stipulations, or at least the contract that hasn't been signed yet, he might be the catalyst to a decent offense this year. And I think David Ross pushes the right buttons, along with the development of Nico Herner as a solid utility guy and the comeback player of the year, my pick, and Javi Baez. That's going to develop, or at least push the Cubs into a spot where they can contend for the NL Central. I don't think they win it. I think the Cardinals win based off the talent of their offense, but I think David Ross shows the whole entire league that with a limited rotation that he could still manage pretty well.
All right, so I'm just going to get the National League out of the way. I'm going to go with Mike Schilt because, the NL Central is an absolute dumpster fire. That's going to be easy. For the American League, Gio, thanks for backing me up on Charlie Montoya. I still feel like Charlie Montoya is in the conversation. However, Charlie Montoya is now my 1A to win AL Manager of the Year.
Ooh.
My 1B to win the AL Manager of the Year is Tampa Bay Rays legend Joe Madden.
Oh, okay.
I swerved you. Yes. Bravo,
Joe Madden
Demetrius.
is going to light the fire under Shohei Ohtani, Tony Two Bags, and good old Fish Boy when the Angels, as I had said in our previous week, make the wild card game.
Oh my god.
That's an A+ troll job. I gotta respect that.
Holy crap,
I'm
dude.
not. I like the.
It's also a solid pick.
Right. I like the brave nature there. I do.
Okay. Well, with that all said and done, we'll be back next time with our Science. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.